Previously on Anachronology.
Wow.
Then the unthinkable happens.
He looks like he's going to get on a dragon and fly away.
And if you don't have it, then what happens? You turn into...
The Anachronauts. They travel through time by downloading history to their brains and archive the past in order to save the future. With their trusty brain download computer, the Epic Traverser, they randomly visit the past year after year. Join them as they embark on their next adventure. Prepare yourself for Anachronology.
Well, hello. Welcome, Anachronauts, to Anachronology, where it's about damn time. I'm your host, Tom, with my I'm your host, Clay, with my co-host, Tom. Got ahead of myself there, buddy. How are you?
Good, pal. How are you?
Doing well. Welcome to the show. Like I said, this is Anachronology, the show where my co-host and I, we categorize the years of 1982 to the present day through the whims and control of our AI producer and trusty Epic Traverser computer. And if you have been with us this long, we thank you and welcome you back. And if you're new to the show, hey, this is what we do. We hang out. We have a nice little, hour and a half, 2 hour, whatever little podcast where we bring you guys along for the ride, where we talk about all things that we are forced to talk about, like I said, through the construction of our computer overlords. And if you are liking this, you know what? You can just do this little support action. Just a little, do a little free little subscribing on YouTube, a little follow us on TikTok, follow us on Instagram. And if you're feeling extra generous, well, then heck, why don't you go over to our Patreon at Patreon/Acronology, and $5 you get extra segment and category of basically more show.
Yeah, 100%. And from the beginning, that's what we've been doing. We incorporate that into doing these episodes, so wherever we temporarily travel to and we have to talk about our categories on the show, there's always an extra category and an extra fun segment that we make exclusively for Patreon members. So really, we've been banging these out weekly. If you think about it, for whatever that contribution you put toward for a month, you're getting your bang for your buck for sure. And we're giving you a lot of extra content, but we have a good time doing it. We wouldn't be doing it if we weren't having a good time. Absolutely.
Speaking of having a good time, you can, as this is our full podcast, and if you follow us or subscribe to us on any of their platform, we're just pumping out little bite-sized pieces of Acronology. So if you just only have a minute or two to spare in between, I don't know, your lunch break or getting your kids to school or whatever you're doing, if you just got your phone in hand and you're on the job, just, follow us on our feed and you'll get a little bite-size in Acronology where you don't have to spend an hour and a half plus listening to me and Tom. Just have a good time. But, thank you guys very much for being here. Tom, geez, we've been doing this here for several episodes now. And I wonder where we are going to be taken to today. We've hit every decade, I believe. We've gotten the 80s, the 90s, the aughts, and the teen aughts. So I don't think we're going to have any new decades to land in, but I'm guessing we're going to have a brand spanking new year.
Yeah, man, it's fresh and it's exciting time where we get to go over to the Epoch Traverser, our supercomputer that helps us temporally travel back in time. Let's go there now and see where the hell are we going today on this episode of Anachronology. Take it away, Epoch Traverser.
It is time to find today's time coordinates from the Epoch Traverser.
Get it. All right. Educated guess, 97.
91.
91? Wow. Whoa. Both wrong. 84.
Blew it to jam.
Oh, yeah. Get it. It's kind of a slow roll. You'll get it eventually, I'm sure. Here we go.
I know the melody.
Right, you need this part.
Oh, it's Danger Zone.
We're going into the danger zone here in 1984. Thank you, Epoch Traverser.
Good ear, my
clever,
friend.
You clever son of a bitch. Always dropping the hits, the 8-bit hits. 84. Wow. I mean, I'm an 82 baby. I'm at this point in my life. I'm 2 years old. I got probably a big head. I can't really keep up straight, and I'm barely saying words. Thoughts are starting to form. So I don't really remember 84 very well.
I am an 83 baby, so I
Ooh.
am even younger than you are, my friend.
Mm.
84, I have I only have, I believe, pictures to remember that by, and I don't think there isn't even anything at my parents' house that still remains. Like I know we had they ripped up the last of the carpet and we put down some hardwood floors however many
Mhm.
years ago. I think that was probably the last thing that was in the anything that I would remember from 1984 was a carpet that I walked on when I was but a wee lad. So interesting to see what the show has in store for us. ATG4 don't have the best memory of it because I was just a little one.
All right. Well, this is where the temporal magic comes in. So if you're watching at home, buckle up. Make sure your seats are in upright position. Your tray tables are stored, and we will now travel back to the year 1984, and we will see you on the other side.
Access granted.
We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
Okay, Anachronauts, this sponsor break on Anachronology is brought to you by our good friends over at Rumple Milk Skins. Rumple Milk Skins, the revolutionary solid milk snack that turns back into liquid when you bite it. Say goodbye to the hassle of keeping your moo juice cold while enjoying all the health benefits of a glass of milk in a convenient, mess-free form. Imagine biting into a creamy, delicious treat and experiencing the smooth, refreshing taste of milk without needing a refrigerator nearby. Rumple Milk Skins are perfect for busy lifestyles, on-the-go snacking, or wherever you crave a nutritious pick-me-up. Packed with calcium, protein, and essential vitamins, Rumple Milk Skins provide the nourishment your body needs without compromising on taste or convenience. Whether you're at work, school, or exploring the great outdoors, our innovative snack keeps you energized and satisfied wherever you go. Indulge in the goodness of milk without worrying about spoils or spills. With Rumple Milk Skins, enjoy the creamy texture and rich flavor of milk in a whole new way. Try Rumple Milk Skins today and discover the future of dairy snacking. Your taste buds and your busy lifestyle will thank you. Rumple Milk Skins. Right as that breakdown goes in.
You are watching Anachronology.
Whew! You are, and you made it. Congratulations. If this is your first time watching the show and your nose isn't bleeding, you have successfully temporally traveled with us to the wonderful year that is 1984. I can't believe we're here. Amazing. Amazing
Official
shit.
Anachronauts making it through that temporal leap.
Welcome,
right here.
Tom and Clay, to the year 1984.
Thank you so much, AI producer. It is wonderful to be here. Clay, what do we know about 1984 now that we have downloaded all this information to our craniums?
Mr. AI producer, pardon me, just the important things, or I should say, when I say important, what the what AI producer deems important. I have noticed the last time we have, or every time we have year in review, there's a lot of death and destruction,
A lot
with
of
like
death.
with a little bit of like good news peppered in. So,
I noticed that. He's
starting
sick. He's sick.
starting off in true fashion, I think this is the first time we actually have had a book on the year and this whole damn show. So
Oh, wow.
George Orwell's The Titular, 1984. His dystopian novel continues to capture the imagination and readers worldwide. Published in 1949, the book gained renewed attention as the actual year approached, prompting discussions about surveillance, government control, and individual freedoms.
Incredible. And
George
boy, does
Bo-
it ring truer than ever nowadays. Man, it
The-
just as the years went on, it just exponentially became more and more art imitates life kind of thing.
The more things change, the more they stay the same, my friend.
Absolutely, dude.
There is I don't know how much we will go into this book here on on this episode. So if you had a decent AP English class, you probably read it. If you have a library card, you were the owner library card, you've probably read this. Maybe if you're a cinephile, you've seen the film. But it is a very well written film that's much like the year in review says here, a dystopian novel. A little bleak, a little bleak, a little
Not a
bleak.
happy ending. No,
Don't wanna-
not,
yeah,
not a
don't wanna-
spoiler alert.
don't wanna
Sorry.
spoil it, a little bleak. Next up, more good news. It says here is the Cold War tensions. The Cold War between the United States and Soviet Union remain tense. The arms race escalated with both superpowers developing and deploying new nuclear weapons. The world watched anxiously as geopolitical tensions persisted.
It's a great collage, by the way. Love this. This just tells a story, you know?
We got Reagan, Gorbachev, Ozzy Osbourne, Tom Cruise as Maverick, Prince, and then just
Thumbs-upping it.
and then just like a nondescript like Europe Russian soldier.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. If you take down the wall, you get all this goody stuff.
and much like we're talking about, just the more things change, the more they sound the same. This is this is a story a little as old as time, because we're doing something similar right around now. We have the sanctions against Russia and what's going on over in Ukraine and threats of nuclear war, but never is going to be quite the same as it was in 1980s Cold War. And speaking of not being the same in the 1980s, here is Steve Jobs with the Apple Macintosh launch on January 24th. Apple introduced the Macintosh computer featuring a graphical user interface and, drumroll please, a mouse. This groundbreaking product revolutionized the personal computer industry and set the stage for future technological advancements.
It just looks heavy, you know? It just looks like if you don't lift with your legs, you're going to get a hernia with that thing. And I love the very boxy, you know, it's hilarious to me to see Apple here in an 84 comparison compared to Apple decades later, where everything just got contoured and smoothed out. Look how boxy and just blocky everything is in the design. It's crazy.
I mean, that's probably like the least amount of plastic they could use in the shell in order to like hold all the guts of the computer in place.
And the real estate of the screen compared to all the rest of it is hilarious, you know, but you have to start somewhere.
Like it's plastic cinder blocks around it. What do we have next year on the year in review? Hit me with, oh yes, more good news. Indira Gandhi's assassination on October 31st. Not a very happy Halloween. Indian Prime Minister Indira Gandhi was assassinated by her Sikh bodyguards in retaliation for the military operation she ordered against Sikh militants at the Golden Temple in Amritsar. The event had profound implications for India's political landscape.
Ouch. Yikes.
I know that's I mean, this is obviously in India. I know this has happened in, I think, like Thailand, maybe like Cambodia or Singapore, but the like palace guards, like the ones that are supposed to be protecting the whoever's be in power, a lot of times, man, they just fucking Julius Caesar these people and just put them out. And unfortunately, Indira Gandhi, she was the victim of one such coup.
For the cuff.
Here, more good news. No, it's the Ethiopian famine. Ethiopia experienced a devastating famine that captured international attention. The Live Aid concerts, organized by musicians Bob Geldof and Midge, aimed to raise funds and awareness to address the humanitarian crisis. I think it might be Midge Ure, U-R-E. So my apologies if my ignorance has butchered that name. But yes, this was here is just one such photo of one such poor suffering individual. And what did the world do? Through a concert.
Right. In American fashion as well. It's like, you know how we can help them? Put on a rockin' concert.
Can we just like cut a check, do some cargo planes, drop some? No. Let's bring out this. Let's bring out the speakers. Come on.
That's it. They want the sizzle, baby. They want the sizzle. They're like, you know what'll really kick this off? Like, let's fly in a bunch of like really like high profile bands that are all gonna like have incredible riders and like giant trailers and shit. And let's blow the speakers off this motherfucker.
There was probably I don't know all of the lineup, but I guarantee you at least one of those bands probably got pissed off that the right caviar wasn't backstage. It was like, I'm not fucking going on for these poor suffering people unless my suffering is alleviated. Bring me the right caviar. Oh, but these poor people are nothing because they're nothing to complain about, because in 1984, the Summer Olympics in Los Angeles, despite a Soviet-led boycott, the Summer Olympics in Los Angeles showcased athletic achievements and innovations. The games featured the debut of several iconic moments, including Carl Lewis's 4 gold medals in track and field.
Look at that. What a spectacle right
Yeah, that
there
was
in Los Angeles.
Los Angeles, and with Moscow boycotting, I don't have a total medal count or events won by the United States, but I guarantee you, with no roided up Russian supermen over to take away some of our gold medals, USA.
Oh, I bet we swept. Yeah, there's no
USA.
Ivan Dragoing going on in this Olympics. It was
On our home turf too.
great. Yeah, it's beautiful. Bring it home. Bring home the gold.
What else we got here? Oh yes, more good news. So this was something I had never heard of. The BHOPAL, I believe it's Bhopal, India. The Bhopal disaster in December, the Union Carbide pesticide plant in Bhopal, India, experienced a catastrophic gas leak, resulting in thousands of deaths and long-term health effects. The incident prompted increased scrutiny and industrial safety practices. I don't know about that. I don't know about how much like industry safety practices did they take from a plant that exploded
Yikes.
in India
Yeah, good
and
lord.
disseminated those around the world. Because I guarantee you, probably whatever things that went wrong at this plant in India, they probably like had those locked down at other places.
Oh, yeah.
OSHA existed and came in here like, do you want to kill thousands of people? Then tie off this gas line. But horrible.
I'm sure people look the other way in some of these foreign countries. They're
Yeah,
just like, yep,
it's
you got a B letter grade. You're good.
the explosion was so large. It says almost 4,000 people murdered or fatalities, and over 500,000 injuries from that fucking explosion. So
That's a big effing explosion.
that's a big boom. And then
here they are pictured right here. Great.
yeah, and yeah, I think they had to take this photo to get
Insurance.
the insurance to family members to
I know.
what you would call it, identify them. But yeah, and also look at pay us out for all these life insurance policies we probably have on every one of our workers.
Yikes.
And what's the last bit of good news in 1984? It is it's AIDS. Oh, good.
Oh,
AIDS.
wow. Talk about the bookend to quite a great year. 84 is shaping up to be.
The human immunodeficiency virus, HIV, the precursor to acquired immunodeficiency syndrome, AIDS, was identified by French scientists François Baer-Sinoussi and Luc Montagnier. The discovery marked a critical step in understanding and addressing the global AIDS epidemic.
Look at that poor bastard. This poor man. He doesn't. It's so awful. It doesn't look real. Like he doesn't look real. He looks so emaciated and sick.
I cannot remember. This is a famous photo. I do not have the name of this gentleman, but I believe he got a blood transfusion, and so this is before they knew about the disease being in all this donated blood. So this is his father and his mother around him, and this is basically one of the last photos taken. This poor bastard, and all he did was like go in for an operation, and he became a pariah because he obviously got AIDS. But I mean, with the advancements in modern medicine, oftentimes people who have this disease aren't as bad as or get to this point because the medicine can like stave off the effects. But dude, look at that fucking guy. He's got just wasted down to fucking nothing. So what a great year in review as always.
Wow, I mean, AI producer crushing it.
It is now time for a segment.
No, not necessarily. It's time to do a category selection.
We got to figure out what we're doing.
Hello, Tom and Clay. I am happy you have successfully downloaded the information from today's chosen year and are ready to begin the archival session. Please focus on the following categories provided by your galactic overlords. Thank you and have a wonderful day.
Thanks, pal. Yeah.
Good job.
Every once in a while, I just got to give it a little smack in the side to make it work. So let's now that we've given the year a proper review, although be it maybe a macabre one, let's go into seeing what we are now going to be talking about today in 1984.
What do you got?
Anachronauts, welcome to today's year. Please proceed in discussing the following categories provided by your galactic overlords. Thank you and have a wonderful day.
You too. Here we go. Cat 1. What are we talking about? Ooh.
The category is music.
I like some music. Early 80s music is pretty solid. 2. What are you thinking?
Movies, it looks like.
The category is movies.
So far, so good. These are good. 2 good categories. 3.
Great.
All right.
Categories news.
Full good times.
Okay.
If
Let's get it on.
the year in review is anything to go by.
Let the categories begin.
Let them begin.
Well.
Wow.
Music, movies, and news. Good thing we got. Looks like we're having a nice little dookie sandwich for the show with starting it off with some news year in review
Ending
and
with
ending
news.
it with some more. I'm sure banger
Spoiler alert.
feel goods here with the news category.
Not bad though, not bad. Two fairly good, I think, categories there. At least ones that I feel are our strong point. Us being kind of from the 80s and 90s, and both having a kind of a penchant for movies and music. So maybe we'll be chatting it up.
I like that the this is, I think it's not as I stumble over my words. This time in the 80s, like mid 80s, late 80s, there is so much, whether it is music and TV or movies, that it gets kind of lost in the wash of what year it actually came out.
Yeah.
But there is so much. There is a glut of banging 80s movies. There's a glut, as terrible as some of it is, there's a bunch of banging music. So I have high hopes for what
Shake it up and see what comes out.
What we're going to be inundated here. And then news. Well, we'll just have to see.
You got a preview of that. So we'll come back to that later.
We'll save the best for last.
That's right.
Well, this is the first thing we got here is a little music-y, huh? We got a little music. So let us see here. Let's bring this to the front stage. Music, all right.
Let's do it. Music 84. Man, I mean, nothing's popping off. So what is up?
I know that off the top of my head, doesn't Van Halen have 1984? Isn't there like a self-titled? Isn't it like their self-titled? Isn't it 1984? Or am I missing that? I know they have Diver Down. I feel like there is some band that is famous that has like one of their name of their albums is 1984. But as far as I bring that up because as far as what music or song or hit album dropped in 84, I do not know off the top of my head. But we should see what do we got here, and then we'll do a little overlay of this, and then starting off with they gave us looks like the 15 top 15 songs from the Billboard Top 100. Okay. Starting off with number 15, we've got Cyndi Lauper, "Girls Just Want to Have Fun,"
and they do. Of course they do. They've wanted to have fun for a long time. Sometimes they weren't allowed to have fun, but in the 80s, they were having fun. Girls had a lot of fun.
Okay, is this a music video with Captain Lou Albino?
Yeah, where she's walking around her house and like her dad's yelling at her. I do think you're correct in that. Yeah,
that's all. Yeah, you're right, because like these are all these people show up in her apartment, and I think finally at the end, Captain Lou cracks and he's like, "Okay, I'll dance around with you guys. You girls just wanted to have fun."
Yeah, it's funny. Like I haven't seen that video in a while, and I think I saw it like a few months ago, and it's funny. It really kind of rings like I'm always brought back to that really effed up scene in Natural Born Killers where they do like isn't it Rodney Dangerfield?
Rodney Dangerfield, yeah.
It's just like it's all weird like that where it's like the dad's like super abusive, but it's like just this kind of creepy sitcom vibe. It's not as demented as obviously Natural Born Killers, but I don't know why. I feel they're like strange cousins in that regards. I don't know if like Oliver Stone watched this video and he was like, yeah.
On the DVD commentary, I'm sure like Woody Harrelson's like, Oliver had a really interesting idea. He made me watch Cyndi Lauper's "Girls Just Want to Have Fun" to really get into the part. And unfortunately, Captain Lou Albino had passed away, but we got Rodney Dangerfield, the next best thing. So that was number 15 from Billboard Top 100. Right. And then here's one that I know everybody knows.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, there is this. This is just an interesting photo for the cover of the album. Like he's just doing kind of a little wee.
Wow, what a frozen moment in time there.
Like no one is watching him jump over a puddle, but he's having fun doing it by himself.
This was an interesting Springsteen era. This like especially this song and. Wait, this isn't the one.
This is the one.
Yes, this is the one. Thank you. I was like, is this the one with Courtney Cox? Because this was the big famous thing. Was like before she was really anybody. It was like, yeah. And then there's that, which is burned into my memory because Sandler did a pretty spot on Springsteen.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
there is there's many things on from SNL that are for whatever reason not available on YouTube. There are other platforms that have this skit of Adam Sandler being
It's worth
Bruce
watching it.
Springsteen. If I would show a nice little sample of it here, but unfortunately, it is not easily findable on YouTube. But yes, if you do a little googling, have yourself a little laugh, and it's almost like a one-to-one recreation of the actual music video, except on the SNL stage when
It
Courtney
very
Cox is
much
hosting.
is.
So here's one coming in at number 13. This is Denise Williams. Let's hear it for the boy from the
hells yeah.
Footloose soundtrack. And if anyone remembers, this is like the song that is playing when he's trying to teach Chris Penn how to dance. And I do know that we have a
look at Chris Penn too, man. This was before Chris Penn found cocaine and cheeseburgers or something, man. This was when his teenage years. Christ, he got very large and sweaty, and I think he died of a heart attack in his probably younger years.
Definitely died of hard
Poor
living. And speaking of checking things out, here is our YouTube page where we're going to go to a nice. Oh, here it is.
Man, it still slaps, this song.
But there
look at him there.
Let's turn this down for a little DMCA. And so this is just like two white guys trying to dance in like Oklahoma. He's just trying to teach him how to do rhythm or beat. Oh, look, that's how you snap. Okay. And then here's some more just awful.
Oh, no rhythm.
Awful.
Oh,
and wait for it. Here he comes, being a little goober. He's destroying his house. His parents are saying, "What are you doing listening to that Negro music?" now it's become vaguely homoerotic. Oh, and then here we go, doing some two-step. This is his jam right here. Let me show you something, Kevin Bacon.
Yeah, let's move our boots around in unison. This is a weird movie.
So we don't need to see any more of that. But you
get
can,
the idea.
As you can tell, the song is very I don't want to say out of place, but it's an interesting choice for what is going on with these two guys having a bonding moment.
Just a couple of white dudes, man.
Yeah,
that was basically the synopsis for most 80s movies.
Number 12 is Lionel Richie, All Night Long. Dude, this
tells a story, doesn't it?
Dude, this cover. I mean, this is. I mean,
it's like, are you looking at me, or
is this the actual? Because I did come across several Lionel Richie All Night Long, covers. So without spending way too much time figuring out which was the first release, all I could think of was all of them weren't good, but this one is very much not good. And I don't understand.
An incredible mane of hair. It's just incredible. He's throwing a serious, like, it's his blue steel. He's just cutting through your soul with those eyes.
I was going to say, how did he get talked into doing this? Because it makes no sense. But Blue Steel it's the Lionel Richie Blue Steel.
Hot off the Commodores. Oh, look at him.
Areas they're saying a little hello, but that's not the right song. So they would go by producer. What? That's also not the right song. What? That's also not the right song. That slide got messed up. What is going on here? This is all out of sense.
But I will say that "Hello" is an amazing music video.
Oh man, we're all out of sorts here. This got a little. But oh man, this is well, unfortunately, we've lost Karma Chameleon and Ghostbusters of Ray Parker Jr., which unfortunately, that's my bad, people. The slide is incorrect. But what we do have here is let's get
Diamond Dave. Look at Diamond Dave.
So that's Judd's number 6. Van Halen's Jump is at number 6. But number 9, this song right here. Now, oh, come on. Why aren't you? I'm not sharing this? Oh, this is all gone to hell. This is all it is. There it is.
Look at his face.
But wait for it. So we're playing this one specifically because this is not the song that you might know. It might sound like the song you might know. Just wait until the chorus comes. Oh, it's gonna drop on you. It sounds familiar. Like this is the real song. Wait, they're gonna sing the chorus that I know, aren't they?
Bustin'.
Somebody took
Pretty brilliant.
Somebody took oh geez, now get out of here, Van Halen. We'll just leave Lionel Richie's face. I love the fact that somebody took this "Busted Makes Me Feel Good," which is kind of like a throwaway line in Ghostbusters. And they just turned it into a 4-minute track of just busted. So unfortunately, the songs that we missed were his "Karma Chameleon" by Culture Club.
Oh my lord, another just earworm too.
Oh yeah,
Boy frickin' George.
and the video for that is him. It's like on a steamboat, like it's like a
It is,
steamship
yeah.
on the Mississippi. If the slides weren't dicked up, I'd show you an image from that, but unfortunately, we don't have that.
And it's all weird. It's all just like a bunch of like almost like cross-dressing males dancing around on a steamboat. Like that was trying to be something back then. Making a statement.
Ghostbusters we just listened to, "Owner of a Lonely Heart" by Yes, which that is kind of like an underrated 80s banger. That's an under. I remember. I think it's used in Vice City, Grand Theft Auto Vice City back in the day. So it got a little extra life, like fed back into the zeitgeist,
as most songs would. Yep.
And then this was number 7 was "Hello," which
baby,
I kind of jumped the gun on. And then I was gonna say we have this
blind girl
who was.
It's a very strange video, and it's almost like he's like almost strangely taking advantage of this blind woman.
And he's even saying, "I can see it in your eyes." I mean, that's kind of, she has like smoked out, no irises, blind lady. That's kind of insensitive, Lionel. And
even in this still, he's just looking at this like bust of him. He's like, "Look at this piece of shit. It looks nothing like me.
What'd you do to my chin? Why is it so freaking big?" And then we got a little AI enhance. Look at that.
That's incredible. You know, Lionel Richie kept this. He's like, I'd like this, please. This probably prominently in his home somewhere.
I wonder if this is a one of one. I wonder if on this shoot day they had like backup clay busts of Lionel Richie's head.
Art department's staying busy making Lionel Richie clay busts.
And then this was Van Halen, which, I mean, this is like the embodiment of white guys on cocaine.
Oh, hells yeah. Look at this guy. Just Diamond Dave. He's doing midair splits, jumping like the title track. Yeah, dude, they did all the cocaine in that time period.
He's got like, does he have like the things you put over your boots or like what a Native American person would?
Oh, absolutely.
What those are called? They're like a leather shin guard, but he only has one of them on. It looks like
this is like such 80s appropriation right here, but he was just having a good time, so it didn't matter.
And he looks tan as fuck too. So I mean,
he's ripped too.
Dude.
I mean, Diamond Dave, you can't put one past the guy.
So that was Van Halen's "Jump" at number 6.
All right.
And then I did not know that this was a movie. This is Phil Collins' "Against All Odds, Take a Look at Me Now."
Is that Jeff Bridges?
Dude, I don't know who that is.
If it's Jeff Bridges, he's looking pretty ripped.
I do not know. Let me see what we can do. Let me see here. What can we pull this up?
With the title track "Against All Odds" by Phil Collins. Now. It's a very salacious scene here. I think that's Jeff Bridges.
Is a implores our X-Layer to take a look at me now. Can we have the film, please? Stars Jeff Bridges. You're right.
Wow.
Well, and Phil Collins is in this movie too.
What? Oh my god! Like, what part did they give Phil Collins? He just has like a real random scene. He's like a guy in a bar.
This is okay. You are right with Jeff Bridges. This is like for some reason I'm having all sorts of technical difficulties because it's giving me just the music video. Thank you. Against All Odds film, American neo-noir romantic thriller directed by Taylor Hackford, stars Rachel Ward, Jeff Bridges, good call, my friend, and James Woods alongside the other people.
Wow.
The film's plot is about an aging American football star who is hired by a mobster to find his girlfriend. I've never even heard of this
Guess what? Spoiler alert, he found her.
against all odds.
Against all odds. Jeff Bridges is getting nasty on the beach.
But yes, I've never even heard of this movie, and I just knew it as a Phil Collins song.
That's it. I knew the song. I didn't know the song was an accompaniment to this very sexy beach romp with a very built Jeff Bridges. I will say those arms, those are telling some stories.
That's why when I was like looking at the cover here, I was like, what an odd choice for Phil put on this, and then it showed me it was a movie. It's like,
yeah,
I've never heard of this movie.
We don't need Phil Collins and his bald head on this cover. We need some sexy shit.
Well, that was number 5. So number 4, Tom, you kind of teased who this next person is with the Cold War. It is Kenny Loggins.
Of course it is.
2 Footloose songs. Let's hear it for the boy and Kenny Loggins, Footloose. Dude, Loggins, he is looking like the brother of the photographer, and he's like doing him a friend. Like, dude, can you just stand here? I want to just make sure the light is okay and my lens. He's like,
his headshot.
You asked me for a ride up here. I mean, you borrowed money. Like, I gotta be on your stupid camera roll. He's like, dude, please, Kenny, please, because he doesn't look like a rocker. He does not look like the man who's jamming Footloose in Danger Zone.
Yeah, I mean that's just it though. And then okay, you got to think about Kenny Loggins. He kind of pigeonholed himself in the 80s. He was the go-to guy. I'm All Right from Caddyshack, Danger Zone, Top Gun, and Footloose. I mean, there might be another one in there we're missing, but dude, he was on speed dial. Like, hey, is there any way Kenny Loggins could make the theme song to this? I'm like, no, I don't think so.
I wonder. I wonder if that was just his. No, can't remember if there has been another, if like a Toy Story movie came out and Kenny Loggins like snuck in a song or something. If there was some like, several decades later that he is actually.
I'm a toy. Like, listen, Kenny, we got to change it up. It's sounding a lot like I'm All Right from Caddyshack.
Because that decade of the 80s, I mean, the sound of Kenny Loggins' voice, it resonates so well in that decade. That was number 4. Right. And then number 3, and it's a 3-word title. It is Say, Say, Say.
This is another cringy kind of collab here.
Paul McCartney and Michael Jackson. And Tom, you weren't kidding when you said it's cringy. So the music video is definitely a little weird. It's kind of like a short story or a short film where it's a period piece where Paul McCartney and Michael Jackson are like apple pickers, and there's Linda McCartney, R.I.P. But they're like some Prohibition era, and then they're like, hey, I know, here, stick with me, kid. You can shuck and jive real good. I know how to make money. And then he's like sneaking up behind him out of the bathroom in like a smoky room with a weird hat. Yeah, it's weird, right? Like this is just this is weird, got his little young boy Paramore here, and what happened? Wow. What were you guys doing? What were you guys doing?
And this was probably all like Paul McCartney's genius. He's like, and then I will shave, and you'll be behind me, and
you'll be wearing my suspenders, because no colored boy would have that on in a day.
What the fuck? Very weird lineup. Yeah.
The video is weird, and it was so weird it only made it to number 3 on the Billboard Top 100.
As far as it goes.
So when you need to take second place from a white guy and a black guy, who do you call in? A black lady, Tina Turner, with What's Love Got to Do With It?
Classic. Absolutely classic. Incredible.
Dude, she is.
Look at her. Fierce.
Dude, she is, rocks it. Great pipes. Great look. Great bod. I mean,
great legs. She was known for her legs, right? Yeah. Didn't she do like I want to say, and maybe I'm making this up, but I think she almost had a partnership with like.
Was it legs? Was it?
Yeah, legs, or like weren't those just like stockings or something?
Yeah, the little egg. They came in a little egg thing. Yeah.
Like you either like wore them or you robbed like a convenience store with them. That was like the whole purpose of them at that time.
And she also had a great chin and nose until Ike broke it because he was throttling the hell out of her.
Goddamn Ike.
Number 2 on the Billboard Top 100. And if you gotta beat a woman in the number 1 spot, who do you got?
Who is
a dude who kind of looks like a woman, Prince, with When Doves Cry, the Billboard Top 100 number 1 song in music 1984.
Look at him. Motherfucker. Yeah, I mean, that would be the song of that time. That was a big song. And now this was Now, when doves cry, did that have something? Was that in correlation to Purple
Purple
Rain?
Rain. So I believe Purple Rain is the album, and
Okay.
When Doves Cry is on the album. And I have just the top 15 in front of me, so I'm not sure if um Purple Rain charted on the Billboard Top 100, but When Doves Cry is a little less slow. It's got that
Oh yeah.
because he's at the beginning of When Doves Cry, it's all that I never want to see you cry or whatever. He's got all like slow. Like this is, I don't say like it's a dance hit, but it's definitely got more of a that angry kind of groove from
It
start to
does.
finish.
It
So
does. Yeah, this is a classic, obviously, but way to go, Prince. Taking the
so
crown.
so that was mostly of the top 15 for Billboard Top 100. Sorry for
Nice.
the old hiccup there, kiddos. And what do we have coming up next year? Oh yes, we have a little segment.
I love segments,
So
baby.
here's a little brand new segment, Tom. So this segment is called Sophie's Choice. We are working on getting some better placeholders for the graphics, but Sophie's Choice. If
Not
you're
to be confused with the Meryl Streep
with a
film.
Meryl Streep film. However, the premise remains the same. In the
Ooh.
film Sophie's Choice, a mother has to make
Mm.
a very difficult decision
Yeah.
regarding which one of her children can come with her and which one needs to be left behind. So we are taking some very iconic things from 1984, Tom,
Oh,
and we
cool.
have to make the very difficult decision of a Sophie's Choice. Which one do we keep and which one,
All right.
if given the choice, would we keep and which one would we get rid of?
We
So
send to the gulag. Yikes.
Sophie's Choice here.
All right.
So this is the jet truck from Buckaroo Banzai,
Wow.
1984. Yeah, that's kind of a deep cut. It's definitely not a great film, but there is
It's
a
worth the watch.
yeah, there's definitely, I would say, cult classic performances, the costumes, I mean, it's got freaking Jeff Goldblum's in it.
Peter
OG
Weller, right?
Peter Weller is the titular Buckaroo Banzai. So there was a couple other like spacecrafts I could have chosen.
John Lithgow, I think, is
Oh
also
yeah,
like the bad guy in it.
Ming the Merciless or whatever.
Yeah, it's you're like you said it best. Deep cut, totally worth checking out though. It's just wacky zany in the
Yeah,
time
definitely
80s.
cult classic. So this was the jet truck from Buckaroo Banzai. So you can either have this ride,
All right.
or you could have, which I think you'll be near and dear to your heart, the Ecto One from Ghostbusters.
Yeah,
So
there is no real. Yeah, it's got to be Ecto, bro.
if you're taking the Ecto One, so I
Iconic.
see now. Part of me, well, I should say my heart knows that I should take the Ecto One. I mean, that's just a no brainer. The reason why, knowing that I know the jet truck is a jet truck,
It is a jet truck.
it
has jet in the name of it. It's pretty awesome. It's
I
way
mean,
faster than Ecto.
yeah,
I'll tell you right
and
now.
granted, this is not saying like the movie or wherever this is from no longer exists. This is just if we were presented the choice with having these two things, could go to the junkyard or stay, whatever. I'm gonna go jet truck, but I'm only going jet truck because it is a jet. Well, I concede the Ecto One is better, but I am taking jet.
Fair enough. All right, fair.
What do we got next here? Oh yes, so in 1984.
My girl.
In 1984, there were two very popular thriller mystery whodunit shows. One stateside, Angela Lansbury's Murder She Wrote, and BBC's Jeremy Brett, The Adventures of
Wow.
Sherlock Holmes.
Remember this jam too. Wow.
So both, and obviously Murder She Wrote went on for much longer than The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. But I have seen, I want to say, I believe I've seen every one of those Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. They used to air on PBS here before we got BBC, and I have not seen all of the Murder She Wrote. So for my money, I would be taking Sherlock Holmes and say, I'm sorry, Angela Lansbury. Unfortunately, Murder She Wrote is getting my Sophie's Choice.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I'm feeling that. I did really enjoy that iteration of the Sherlock Holmes stories. I do remember those as a young lad. But I gotta say, I spent a lot of time with my nanny, and she loved Murder She Wrote. So I feel like Angela Lansbury, Jessica Fletcher, watching her antics, her snarkiness, her solving crimes, and sometimes just, I don't know, just stupidly solving crimes a lot of the times. And she had a lot of sass. She was sassy, Angela Lansbury. I'm going with Murder She Wrote.
Fair enough. Fair. Oh yes, and keep in mind, if you're playing at home, there are no wrong answers. This is just a fun.
What is your choice?
A fun little segment that we have here on Acronology. Next up on Sophie's Choice is, oh yes, cartoons debuted in 1984. There is Transformers, a cartoon about sentient robots that transform into vehicles, but also try and save humanity. And Voltron, which is about humans who get into robots, and those robots transform into vehicles. So kind of the same, but not really. But the Sophie's Choice, Transformers or Voltron.
Yeah, it's funny. I love Transformers. I remember going to see the Transformers movie when it came out, and that being a big deal for it to be like one of the big first cartoon movies. And spoiler alert, they fucking kill Optimus Prime in the first fucking act of the movie, which was a huge buzzkill. And Transformers has lasted, obviously, the test of time. Michael Bay farted on it and made 1,700 different versions of the Transformers. They are iconic. But as a young lad in that time, I really was drawn to Voltron. I thought Voltron was sweet, that all of kind of, really, if you think about it, the Voltron was early kind of Megazord Power Rangers shit. They kind of took it from that. And I just kind of dug that. I dug that they could each have their own kind of mechs, and they come together to make the big baddie. I'm going Voltron.
The thing I remember most about Voltron, aside from I always like seeing how the cat fucking robots, whatever, just liked how they thought they looked cool. But I always hated that little kid. I always got annoyed at the little kid. I do remember not liking him.
That little kid.
But I am we are at odds again, my friend. I am saving Transformers because that is I have fond memories of those toys when I was a kid. I believe my brother had the who's the leader of the Decepticon? He turns into the gun. What's his name? That's Starscream. That's his lieutenant.
Oh boy,
the main guy. Optimus Prime's the good guy. What the hell is his name?
Oh boy.
Oh, it's killing me.
I can't think of his name. It's not coming to me as easy as it should. Ask AI producer; he'll know.
Yeah,
Megatron.
So thank you, Negatron. Thank you. They couldn't think of it. That's why we play the game, folks. But that toy was really badass. Obviously, Optimus Prime was cool. So I would save.
All right.
I would give Transformers my Sophie's Choice. Next up. Oh yes, what Italian man would you want to come help out your family?
Look at that son of a bitch.
Tony Maselli from Who's the Boss, or Charles from Scott Baio from Charles in Charge. You get an Italian man to come hang out and help your family. Both shows debuted in 1984. Both shows having an Italian man come in and basically play a nanny for privileged white kids.
Yeah, absolutely. I would say I would keep Tony Danza. I like Tony Danza. I think Scott Baio got real weird as he got older too. I think he got real like far right, strange kind of dude. I think he didn't age well. Tony he's still Tony Danza, So I kind of dig him. He's kind of iconic. I'd keep Tony Danza.
I'm right there with you, brother. I'm keeping Tony Danza. I think also
Scott Baio.
I think part of the show too. I think part of his backstory, much like real life, I think he was like not just Tony Danza, but Tony Maselli, the character he played on Who's the Boss, was also like a boxer, and Tony Danza was in real life. So if push comes to shove, Charles in Charge, he ain't throwing down hands.
No.
Like Tony Maselli is going to come and knock some people out. So
yeah, he's in charge. Yeah.
So definitely taking Tony Maselli. What do we have next? Yes. What Asian young boy would you adopt if you had to adopt an Asian? You have to take one at the orphanage, or maybe not one. So this is short round from 1984's Temple of Doom.
Cover your heart.
Or a Mogwai from Gremlins. If you had to adopt one of these Asian children. Because the Mogwai do come from the Himalayas. That is in Asia. So you could either have short round or a Mogwai.
I know. One would be more of a pet, I think, really, the Mogwai. But it does kind of talk, and you got to... Well, here's the problem. They all have rules, especially the Mogwai. Mogwai has strict rules. You can't be feeding that shit after midnight. Don't get it wet. But, I mean, short round's a kid. He's a little kid. You got to kind of take care of him. But he can take care of himself, as he shows in Temple of Doom. He rocks the shit. It's a really tough one. What do you think?
See, I know like the smart answer is probably just to take short round because he's not a Mogwai. You don't have to worry about like getting wet, feeding him after midnight, which also isn't every time after midnight. It's always after midnight, right? Like you were saying, don't feed the Mogwai after midnight. Like, isn't it always after midnight? So regardless, I'm taking the Mogwai. Like, I know that's the
right.
wrong choice, but I am taking the Mogwai just because I
Yeah.
think it would be dope to have a cute little Himalayan monster.
It's pretty
So,
damn cute, especially when it sings and stuff. It's
yeah, right?
very cute, man. You're right. Fuck it. Sorry, short round. I'm going with the Mogwai too.
Short round. And I believe we have one last Sophie's choice to make.
All right.
And is this you can either save Tom Selleck from the movie Lassiter or Tom Selleck from the movie The Runaway. I have not seen either one of these movies.
Neither have I, but I want to
Both
see
came-
both of them double
they-
feature right
They
now.
both came out in 1984, and Tom Selleck. So I couldn't tell
Wow.
you what the plot is, what character he plays.
The
I don't know.
titular character, I would hope.
Yes, he is the Runaway, or you're John Lasseter in Lassiter. So
What a
this is-
good-looking man, too. No man pulled a mustache off quite like Selleck, dude. If I could just if anything, if I could save anything from this time period, I would just save his mustache. I would keep it encapsulated in like a case somewhere.
Dude, I don't think there has been any other leading man that has consistently rocked a stash for as long as they've been in showbiz as Tom Selleck. Like, he's like the last bastion of the mustache man.
It's pretty great. I'm not sure. I think like from a left to right perspective on this picture, I would say like I would probably keep the right Tom Selleck.
Yeah,
Whatever
I
that
just
one was.
I have no idea. Like, I literally have not, so I'm just gonna take the left one just because.
Fair enough. We'll cut it down the
left
we'll
one
cut it down the
because
middle.
I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea what. So that was Sophie's choice. Thank you for playing along at home. I hope you guys had a hard time making a decision as Tom and myself did.
That was tough. Yeah, let us know. Like where would you have landed in that
Now a word
scenario?
from one of our wonderful sponsors.
Nice.
Well, I guess AI producer piping in. Great first category. That was a ton of fun. Music with a little special segment sprinkled on top, like we do here at Anachronology. Let's take a quick sponsor break. We'll be right back for Cat 2 and whatever that is. I can't wait. All right, we'll see you soon. Bye.
We'll be right back after these messages. Go get yourself some gabagool.
Well, hey there, Anachronauts. This portion of Anachronology is brought to you by Smokus Pocus. Are you searching for a mythical smoke shop experience like no other? Look no further than Smokus Pocus, where magic meets Mary Jane. Owned and operated by a coven of witches, Smokus Pocus invites you to step into a realm where smoke swirls with spells and every puff carries a hint of enchantment. Our mystical shop offers an array of premium smoking accessories, herbs, and potions crafted with the utmost care and attention. Discover the allure of our hand-selected collection of pipes, bongs, and vaporizers, each imbibed with the mystical energy of our witchy proprietors. Our knowledgeable witches are here to guide you on your journey, offering personalized recommendations and mystical insights to enhance your smoking experience. From rare herbs to sacred incense blends, we have everything you need to awaken your senses and elevate your rituals. Join us at Smokus Pocus and experience the magic for yourself. Whether you're a seasoned witch or a curious newcomer, our coven welcomes you with open arms and a touch of sorcery. Come ignite your imagination at Smokus Pocus, where every puff is a potion and every moment is infused with magic.
You are watching Anachronology.
Aha.
Hey, welcome back.
Hey, y'all.
Hope you enjoyed that message from one of our sponsors. And speaking of sponsors, if you want to sponsor us, you can check us out on our Patreon page. If you're feeling as generous enough to give us a few shekels, you can become an official Anachronaut, and you get bonus material, much like you probably just saw right before this commercial break, which was a segment called, well, it doesn't matter what the segment's called. What matters is it was a segment that you get an extra one of them if you so happen to be one of our Patreons. And if you don't want to do that, that's fine. But check out the little subscribe button right over there. You can just subscribe to our YouTube channel, to our Instagram, to our TikTok, and we do little bite-sized little morsels of this show for you. So even if you don't want to, or don't have the financial ability to throw us any money, it costs no dollars, no cents to hit a subscribe button and follow us on one of our socials.
Yeah, well put. Absolutely. We appreciate all the support, all the help, whether you're liking something, sharing it, subscribing to a channel, to the Instagram, to the TikTok, whatever. It helps, and we appreciate it. We're making the content for you as well. So let us know, what aren't we doing? What do you want to see more of? What don't you like? I mean, we want it all. Engage, baby. But yeah, so far so good. 84 is chalking up. Granted, the year in review was a little doom and gloom, but man, awesome music, obviously coming out of 84. Where do we go next?
Now we gotta go to a little place that we like to call movies. So there is definitely a bunch of this. There is definitely a bunch of quality to choose from 1984. So in order to keep this under 11 hours long, we're just going to take a quick little jaunt through some choice selections here, starting with one that isn't so much as a movie as it is a movie of a concert. Stop Making Sense. If
big one.
Yeah, if it's speaking of big ones, it's a big suit David Byrne wears during this.
It is a big suit.
And I can't, this isn't I always remember, this isn't Scorsese. Scorsese directed the one with the band. Let me
yeah, actually Jonathan Demme.
Jonathan Demme, thank you.
A very acclaimed filmmaker made this, and it's like kind of the perfect encapsulation of what this band is about, especially David Byrne. I think the music's amazing. I mean, obviously the album itself has a lot of great classic Talking Head tracks on it, but really, I mean, David Byrne's this kind of one of the first real kind of I didn't know for a while that he's apparently a Scottish American singer, so didn't really know that was going on with him. But he was always incredibly artistic, and it was like the melding of all this, like the crazy performance pieces, and with the music, it just makes the Talking Heads.
There is, I can't remember if it's during Psycho Killer or As the Days Go By or what. There is there's one track where where they're, the band is playing, and he is just like having a spasm on stage. Like it makes no sense. It's talk about like a front man. Like we just had in music category, we had David Lee Roth like jumping, doing the splits in midair. David Byrne don't do any of that, but I guarantee you he is just as entertaining to watch as David Lee Roth, albeit in a completely different way as a frontman.
Absolutely, man. And just like, again, it kind of really captured the essence of that group, like Bernie Worrell, who's an amazing key player, who was like a founder of P-Funk, Parliament Funkadelic. He's on there jamming on the keys. You got Byrne just writhing all over stage. It's a spectacle to watch. If you haven't seen it, it's worth the sit. It's definitely a wild. I think it's AI producer saying it's an 88-minute sit. So it's a little over an hour, but it's like sitting at a concert, a wild show. Definitely worth it.
And it's like sitting at a concert where that 88 minutes doesn't have like the openers in it. That's all talking heads. So you got like a 90 minutes basically of a front row seat literally in your living room of seeing the Talking Heads perform some banger tracks. And what do we have next year on the list? So Blood Simple, probably a film that not a lot of people are familiar with, but you might be familiar with the name The Coen Brothers. This is their first film. And I'm a big Coen Brothers fan. Obviously, there's some that I have preference over than others. But this movie, I wouldn't say go in here expecting No Country for Old Men, There Will Be Blood, Big Lebowski. It is very... I want to say unrefined, but it's very raw. Like they don't have the money to pay for, a badass DP and a big, bunch of expensive camera or special effects or what have you. But for being a very grounded, like based in reality thriller murder mystery, if you are a fan of the Coen Brothers and you haven't seen their first feature film, Blood Simple, do yourself a favor, check it out. You may like it. It's a big film class movie. I wouldn't say it's one of their top 10. They made fucking enough of them to have a top 20 for Christ's sakes. But yeah, it's worth a watch if you like the Coen Brothers.
Yeah, absolutely. And this film, it's funny. You're right, because it is kind of like an origin of Coen Brothers. They I think made a name for themselves along the way. Especially you mentioned No Country for Old Men being an adaptation of a book. And Blood Simple is also an adaptation of a book, apparently based off of the novel Red Harvest. And they do a really fine job of kind of taking it off the page and putting in the drama. And also the one cool thing about this film that's kind of a little bit of a of an asterisk, it's actually one of the first major films of cinematographer Barry Sonnenfeld. So, and then Barry Sonnenfeld went on to be a very big director in his own regard. So that collaboration with him and the Coens is seen really, really well here in Blood Simple, but a lot of starts here. Even Franny McDormand, I think this is her first big breakout film.
I believe that she's married to, I don't know if they were married at the time, but Joel or Ethan she's married to. And so in order to get like an actress they didn't have to pay, they're like, hey honey, you want to be in this? And not a bad start to a 30+ year career in Hollywood.
Not at all.
Next up is how relevant, Tom. How relevant.
OG, baby. The OG Dune.
So directed by the one, the only, the the impossible to imitate, never duplicated David Lynch.
I know.
This does not, let's put it this way, the Denis Villeneuve one is, I think, lends or owes a little bit of gratitude to being the year 2020s when that movie was being able to be made. This one 1984. So folks, imagine that the movie, or whatever you are familiar with, the 2022 Dune film, imagine any of that trying to take place in 1980. Any of it.
It's very true. Lots of limitations with like technology, with special effects, and it is just like, imagine if this, you're right, imagine if you made that movie in this time period and then you sprinkled some David Lynch sauce on it. This is what you would get. And it is, I mean, it's campy, it's silly. It's, I don't know. It's probably not what like a lot of people envisioned it, especially like diehard fans of the book. And like you said, the newer Dune has all the caveats of like the better special effects and just being able to make it larger and bigger and grander. But I think for what this is, it falls into the cult classic arena of just like, if you've seen it, there's a special piece of you that does like this Lynch version of Dune.
And I believe this is the film that Lynch, he did not have a final say, final cut, final edit. And he, after working on this and not receiving that from Dino De Laurentiis, I believe, Lynch said, I will never, ever make a movie unless I have final cut. So if you happen to watch any of David Lynch films and say, what the hell was that about? I don't understand it. The only way that movie got made is because no one could tell him no. So as much as Dune might has his problems and isn't the greatest adaptation of this book, it's very possible it could have looked or come out a certain different way had Lynch had his druthers. But without this movie being the train wreck that it was, we wouldn't have the David Lynch that we know and love today.
Amen.
Next, one of my all-time favorites, Zucker Brothers, Abrams,
good. So good.
Val Kilmer. I'm trying to think how many years removed this is from Airplane. It's only like what, 3 or 4 years removed from Airplane. Not that many.
Very, very, very close to it. 84, and then let me ask. I think Airplane was like maybe in the early 80s. 80. 4 years.
80, okay, yeah. So I mean, this is. So good. It has the it does like one of those things where I think like the slapstick, the story is good, like the story of actually what is going on in the movie, like the Val Kilmer's character has to go be part of the French resistance. So it's like, the what is happening is easy to follow, but all of the slapstick, all of the gags, all of the acting, like all of the actors are buying into the stupid shit they have to do. I'm not saying that this is I mean, this is obviously such a different film from something like what's a famous like The Hangover. I know is very popular, or I'm just trying to think of like what's another kind of famous semi-contemporary, funny movie, or any of the like scary movies or those kind of where they make.
But this had to come first. This really did come first, and everything else, like you said, all the scary movies. Everybody has tried to do that. They've tried to kind of like parody other films, whether it's like I remember like Spy Hard. Of course, that was all like Leslie Nielsen and his whole shtick as well too. But even the Zuckers were doing Naked Gun, and they were just around. Then they even had a hand in like one of my favorite later '90s films, Basketball, was hilarious. So they have just found ways to implant themselves. I don't know if they've done anything as of late, but this is, I would call this kind of a pitch perfect comedy. It's just like you're always laughing, like you said. It's also one of those things where like most of the actors in it are playing this like straight man thing where they're just really committed to it. It's super serious, especially Val Kilmer. And this was like a young Val Kilmer role. I mean, did he do what's the other one he did?
Real Genius.
Real Genius, yeah. So I think he did Real Genius and then possibly this, or it's vice versa. But I know that he blew up because of this role. And he's so Nick Rivers, the character he plays, is so fucking funny.
Near and dear to my heart, Top Secret. One of my favorites.
That's a great one.
What else do we got here in the 1984? Red Dawn.
Red Dawn.
This is like when I think of like I don't want to say quintessential 80s movies, but a movie that looks 80s as fuck. This movie is 80s as fuck. You got Charlie Sheen, you got Patrick Swayze, you got C. Thomas Howell, you got Jennifer Grey, you got Leah Thompson. It takes place in Middle America. We're fighting against the Ruskies. It's a good
so topical.
It's like at least I want to say it's like a 2-hour long film. So
yeah,
I mean, it's not like it's a short little 90-minute. There's 30 minutes of setup, like 30 minutes of kind of fighting, and then like one little big. It is just action, murder, death.
Yeah, it hits on all the cylinders, and like you said, it was that kind of like Brat Pack casting of these like younger hot actors and actresses that were coming up, and really too, it's a John Milius movie, and John Milius was kind of that creative madman. He did like the first 2 Dirty Harry movies. He was a co-writer on Apocalypse Now. The guy was kind of like, he'd been around the film world for a long time. And I think when he put his touch on stuff, yeah, I mean, it reeks of him when you watch it and lay it down next to his other movies. You're like, oh, it's totally John Milius movie.
And one of my favorites when parodies is in South Park when they're parodying Grey Dawn when the old people come, and Stan's dad is Harry Dean Stanton. He's like, "Avenge me, boys, avenge me!" But Harry Dean Stanton doing "Avenge me," so good. But yeah, I mean, they did a. I can't remember who was in the remake. That was like 10 years ago, or it was like I don't know if there was a Helmsworth in that or somebody.
Right.
But don't even bother with it. Watch the OG. No. The OG is the shit.
It's worth it.
And then Revenge of the Nerds. Revenge. So this is another, like, I remember this. I often or most of the movies that I saw before having cable was on Channel 11 Saturday matinee, and I remember Revenge of the Nerds. Like, it was a Channel 11 coming out of New York, and this was one that I remember seemed to be in heavy rotation on Channel 11, and for being. I mean, obviously it's 84, but whenever this was in syndication, I was watching. I remember thinking it was awesome movie, hilarious, funny. Even in the early days of having it, edited, they totally left in the scene where the David Carradine or whatever Keith Carradine, whatever this Carradine is, not Anthony, the blonde dude, he straight up like sexually assaults the girl. He's dressed up as Darth Vader, and she's like, "Oh, you want to do it with the mask on?" She thinks that he's her boyfriend, and he's like, "No, leave the mask on." And as a young kid, I was like, "Oh, he's gonna go like kiss that girl." As an adult, I'm like, that dude straight up did a little Me Too. He just got himself Me Too.
Kind of. Yeah, it was. I mean, obviously, I don't know if those plot lines would fly today, but yeah, Revenge of the Nerds is definitely. It's got the whole underdog thing. And this is also coming off of like the era of Animal House. Like, let's make a good a college comedy. It had like, I think also after like Porky's came out, everything had to have some kind of sexual angle too, like you said, like, and it's just like it hits all those notes for sure, and it's just like the dumb stupid jocks, and it's timeless, man.
It could have been a much worse movie than it is. It's a pretty darn good watch, Revenge of the Nerds.
Absolutely.
And then this is Never Ending Story 2. I thought this was Never Ending Story 1. I would have included this in here. That's Never Ending Story 2. We need to watch Never Ending Story 2.
Just like the Never Ending Story, I guess. If the second one looked just like it, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, right. I'm like my slide work is terrible
But
tonight. Yeah.
there's Falcor though. He's looking pretty
He
baller.
must be coming. Yeah, the Luck Dragon. Oh no, we're getting ahead of ourselves. We're getting ahead of ourselves. Yeah, coming back. This is
Falcor.
like dad movie. Like if you got to if you're a kid born in the '80s and your dad likes sports, I remember this was one of my dads. My dad liked this movie, Robert Redford, The Natural, based on
It's a great one.
based on a book as well. When I look at this image of Robert Redford, it's like he was like Brad Pitt. Like this dude was like
Oh
Brad Pitt
yeah.
before. He was Brad
He
Pitt,
gave
dude.
off mad Pit vibes, I think. Look at those teeth too, man. Those are blinding. Those things are so white. White as that baseball.
But definitely like an Oscar bait movie. It's not all like yes, it is about baseball, but it's more. It's more than that. There is baseball is a big part of it. Wilford Brimley plays the coach, and he's very pre-diabetes, but just as
We love
endearing and
Wilford Brimley here on the show.
mustached. And there's the bat that Robert Redford uses called Wonder Bat or Wonder Boy, I believe. That has been parodied in a bunch of other movies where the character shows up with something that they made themselves and a parody or taken from The Natural.
Yeah.
And then here we go. We got
Ooh, baby.
speaking of iconic 80s movies.
Oh man.
OG Terminator, James Cameron pulling an idea out of his noggin after he had freaking fever, 100 and something degree fever, in delirium, thinking he was getting chased by like a metal skeleton. And what do we get? We get Terminator out of that.
This game changer of an action film, like shaking up the genres too. Like at that point too, like sure, there was pretty much like pretty hardcore sci-fi, pretty hardcore action. To take this film kind of takes and sandwiches them together really nice, and it's just like wrote the book on that moving forward. Everybody was less like, we need a little Terminator in the mix here.
And as much as it is an action movie, I would say that Terminator 2 is definitely more of an action movie, where this has like the horror element, like the thriller aspect of it. Terminator 1, but both obviously fantastic movies. Wouldn't have two without one, and we wouldn't have a double dose of Stallone without Conan the Destroyer. I'm a big.
That.
I remember as a kid growing up being very much into like sword and sorcery books and all that. And for my money, for a film that does not have computer or computer CGI to, show whatever world they're trying to create, for all basically practical effects, Conan the Destroyer, badass sword and sorcery movie. Awesome movie.
Yeah, man, I gotta throw it back too. I just said his name, but John Milius did the Barbarian. He was all over the first one, and I think that this was great. And wasn't this the one that introduced, was Red Sonja in this one, or was she in the first one?
No, Red Sonja's her standalone, but yeah, the first one is way better. Like the Conan the Barbarian is 10 times better than Destroyer. But for getting a sequel for a sword and sorcery movie, which we just don't really get these kind of long, these repeat offenders, so to speak. This movie was not nearly as good as The Barbarian, but for being a movie that has Arnold Schwarzenegger swinging a sword, you're in a good place. And then we got two little comedies to end up here: Beverly Hills Cop.
Classic,
little Axel Foley, little banana in the tailpipe.
Big breakout for Eddie Murphy too. This was like, because he had done 48 Hours with Nolte, and he's good as just kind of like the co kind of actor in that dynamic of that duo. But this was a real big, just like leading man role for Eddie Murphy. He kills it.
And speaking of comedies, which we already had one with music. Oh, nope, going the wrong way. Why is that back there? Why is it not? Oh, well, it looks like I screwed up. Dude, the slides, I've screwed up the slides all night. Well, it should be Ghostbusters. It should be Ghostbusters.
The biggest movie of 1984. Absolutely. I would hope we mentioned that.
I don't know why there is two. There should be two Conans. It should be Ghostbusters. But
we secretly wish there were two Conan movies in 84. But I think that Ghostbusters was the biggest movie event of 84. I feel like coming in the summer of 84 for many years later, Ghostbusters made such a splash. I think it was one of the biggest grossing, I think, comedy of all time until it was dethroned sometime in the 90s. So it just hung in there for such a long time. And Ghostbusters is, I think we recently rewatched it with some friends. We randomly were over their house and they had a a 4K version of Ghostbusters, and it's just like it's weird to watch it, and I've watched it so many times in my life, but it does still just it works. It just does. It works. It's zany. It's funny. It's scary. It's just one of those things that it's weird when all of that works in a movie. And I think people try to recreate that magic today, and they can't do it, even with like the caveat of special effects and just like piling on a bunch of layers. Still, people can't get what that movie does so simply.
I was gonna say that movie is such a perfect example of like lightning in a bottle. Like that was it was the distilling down of everything to make a fun, profitable, rewatchable movie. And you had Aykroyd, you had Bill Murray, and Harold Ramis just firing on all cylinders. So that was at least a little selection from the 1984 movies, and I know we missed a whole bunch, but those are some that I remember from at least that I saw the list and I said I seen a bunch of these, but these ones I remember seeing quite a bit of as a young lad.
84 movies, yeah, we were but young lads, but those are all great. And if you haven't seen any of those, I would revisit a few of those. If you haven't, you're in for a treat.
And speaking of being in for a treat, there's another word from one of our sponsors. We will be right back after this message.
Yeah, we will see you very soon.
After this motherfucking messages, we'll be right back.
All right, on this break for Anachronology, it was brought to you by Chill Billy's Frozen Moonshine. There he is in all his glory, Mr. Chill Billy. Elevate your frozen treat experience to new heights. Look no further than Chill Billy's, where frosty refreshment meets the unmistakable kick of moonshine. And it is a kick, the ultimate indulgence for those who crave adventure. Crafted with care and precision, Chill Billy's Frozen Moonshine is unlike any other frozen treat on the market. With over, 70% alcohol by volume, each tantalizing sip packs a punch that will leave you buzzing with excitement. Don't drive after drinking one of these. But beware, our frozen moonshine is so potent, it's too volatile to fly on a plane. It's down-home delight that's been savored on solid ground, where you can truly appreciate its bold flavors and intoxicating effects. Experience the thrill of Chill Billy's Frozen Moonshine, but remember to indulge responsibly. This ain't your grandma's ice cream. It's a daring concoction that may cause a stir. Sip slowly, savor every moment, and let the adventure unfold. So gather your friends, fire up the blender, and get ready for a frozen treat like no other. Chill Billy's is here to shake up your taste buds and leave you craving more. But be warned, excessive consumption may cause blindness. Embrace the spirit of the South with Chill Billy's Frozen Moonshine, where the chill is real and the fun never stops. Chill Billy's.
You are watching Anachronology.
Hey there. Welcome back. Thanks for sticking around.
Welcome back. Here we are, back in 1984. We just went through some movies. We've already talked about music. It's been quite a year, 1984. And here we are kind of rounding the corner with category 3, our final category here in 1984. And what will it be?
It's going to be the news. So let's break the news.
Perfect picture to describe the kind of news that so far has been given to us in 1984. A blaze of flames and destruction.
My hair has never looked better.
Yeah, you look great.
Let me just see here real quick. So one thing that I know we're going to start off with here is a video. So I just want to make sure that's queued up. So folks, I know that we start off every episode with a little year in review once we get the year. So we're not going to do the same, hopefully, boring rundown of super traumatic things that killed a bunch of people, but we'll just try and see what was, maybe not necessarily a headline, but things that were noteworthy. So I know we talked about the Apple Macintosh computer going on sale to start, and it was priced at $2,500. But I did want to, let me see, we're gonna cut to Ray Parker Jr.'s face once I add this to the stage. Busted. Because we're gonna go back to go look at we're gonna look at this.
Actually, I would just be down with playing this Boatless track again.
We gotta go to the news in 1984.
The day we celebrate the first
Oh, this is famous.
This is a famous little 1984 commercial.
Famous and strange.
It's like what's it? THX
Yeah.
1138.
Yeah, somebody watched that and was like, I got a great idea for this commercial.
We're gonna have this brazierless Tatas running through the future. Wait for the payoff. Look at her. We're gonna break free from all this.
Oh, Apple.
Blowing your mind yet, everybody?
What a production.
Apple Computer will introduce Macintosh.
Yeah, so that
Sure.
was what we got from 1984 commercial.
You're both enticing people to buy it and scaring the living shit out of them at the same time. So way to go, Apple.
I was like, they were trying to do the $6 million man, but with just some broad making a $2,500 computer. And another video we have. This is the top of Michael Jackson's hair. Michael Jackson in the hospital, second-degree burns from pyrotechnics while filming a Pepsi commercial.
Oh, that's
Let's
right.
take a look at this little action that we got.
We got something caught here. We got a little BTS.
We got a little.
They might find it disturbing.
So here we go. We got some.
Come on, Michael.
Michael. Here he
see.
comes. Oh, there he's on. He's on.
Wow.
Here we go. It's going to happen. Here we go. Here it comes. Ready? And I'm dancing.
Bam.
I'm on fire.
I'm on fire.
His
Look at it.
head's
It's going right up. I'm sure it was all that Aquanet on that hair.
He doesn't even know it yet. Doesn't know it yet. Doesn't know it yet. Doesn't know it yet. No.
Yeah. Oh, man. Is that a shirtless like roadie that just ran up and like put him out too?
No, but yeah, that's you can see the burned area at the top of his head. So that was Michael Jackson filming a Pepsi commercial. Which is a terrifying photo right here. That is a photo of the first untethered spacewalk made by astronaut Bruce McCandless and Robert L. Stewart during NASA's STS-41B space mission. Rather than be attached to the shuttle, the astronauts control the propulsion using a specially designed jetpack.
Yep.
Terrifying.
Yeah, that's some gravity shit right there. That's nightmare fuel. I mean, God willing, everything works and you get back to the ship. If not, you're gone, man.
Dude, seriously, that's just like bye-bye. Awful. This is actually some good news. This is some good news. Baton Rouge Metropolitan Airport, Louisiana, Gary Plauch, I believe is how you say his name, Plauch, shoots and kills Jeff Dissett. But why? Because the killing is captured on film by a TV crew who were there filming Dissett arriving in Louisiana to stand trial for the kidnap and sexual assault of Plauch's son. So that dude in the hat knew that this guy was coming into the airport, who was the guy who kidnapped and raped his kid, and said, I'm going to take matters into my own hands and shoot this guy as he goes to the airport.
Does he kill him?
Oh, I would link the video if we can find it on YouTube.
Wow.
If you do a little Googling, if you want to look up Gary, Gary, last name Plauche, you will find it. I guarantee you.
Narcs this guy. Wow.
I mean, that is one bit of news. This scumbag couldn't do anything like that again. What do we got next? Unfortunately, we got more bad news. One day before his 45th birthday, Marvin Gaye dies. Famous singer intervenes in an altercation between his parents and is shot by his own dad.
His own dad. Yeah, that's a dark piece of history right there. Because Marvin Gaye is great, man. Like, imagine if he just was, like a lot of greats that are cut down in their prime. Sucks that it's a fucking hate crime and shit. And he was just he's one of those guys too. You can close your eyes and hear him. You just know it's him. He's just so distinctive.
And okay. So this video is not on YouTube. I wonder if you before I say comedian Tommy Cooper dies live on TV. Cooper suffers a massive heart attack and falls backwards, gasping, and is initially thought to be part of his comedic act. So this guy was like a famous comedian, and I guess he would do this kind of like bumbling oafish character, but he's straight up fucking.
Oh my god! Is this just like a Shriner's roast? I assume he's wearing that Shriner hat.
That is a still from. I believe he is not breathing anymore in that photo.
He literally killed it. Holy shit, Tommy. Wow.
What do we got next? Oh yes, this is always fun. So there was a giant solar flare, an
Look at that thing.
X-class solar flare. Flares classified as X can affect the Earth, causing blackouts and radio disruptions. This flare measured as X13, or I'm sorry, the flare measures as X13, the second most powerful flare recorded until an X20 occurs in 1989. So those happen every so often, and this one, I guess, knocked out like radio communications. We did not have the internet yet, so it couldn't have knocked out the internet or cell phone towers. But if something like this happens, we're all screwed. Yeah, we're all screwed. So some more good news for everybody. But don't worry. Dude, Tetris release June 6th. USSR Computer Program releases the new game Tetris, which is only available for the Electronica 60 console.
That was amazing. And then obviously, I mean, years later, I believe there was the whole like big story about that it got put on, the Game Boy. The game, when it got put on the American release of the Game Boy, it was a game changer, man. That shit was, I just remember being like, this is the coolest shit ever. Tetris was awesome. Tetris still is pretty awesome.
Probably you'll be hard pressed to find two things that go hand in hand as far as a video game and a console go better than Tetris and Game Boy. I mean,
agreed.
Match made in heaven. Perfect. And then we've got yes, America killing it. Mary Lou Retton of the USA's Olympic
America's darling.
A perfect 10 for her final vault. She is the first American woman to win an Olympic gymnastics gold medal, which, if you don't know how big of a deal that is, it's a pretty big deal because those Europeans were just crushing our asses in all things Olympics. We didn't have to Ruskies, but hey, even if there was no Ruskies, we still had to compete with everybody else. And
hell's yeah! And I mean, she was America's sweetheart. She was on the Wheaties box after this. Come on now, that's the story we all love.
Sniff the podium, and it took a little young Mary Lou Retton to bring us home the gold. Oh yes, there is video of this. This is before. So August 11th, Ronald Reagan jokes about bombing Russia during a mic check for a radio interview.
Jesus.
To the press, it becomes an infamous report around the world. Let's go to the videotape here. And you're kidding me. Oh, you son of a bitch. I am just ruining.
Let's just play more Michael Jackson's haircut on fire.
Oh my god, this is insane. I
bomb those son of a bitches.
Hold on a second here.
I'm sure I can do a fairly decent reenactment of it.
We're gonna find. I have this on the script. We've got Reagan. We've got the hot link right here. We're gonna copy this. We're going here. We're doing it live. We're putting it in.
Go.
We're putting it in. Here we go.
Look at Americans. I'm pleased to tell you today that I've signed legislation that will outlaw Russia forever. We begin bombing in 5 minutes.
Yes.
Christ, man.
So that was old Ronnie Reagan during a radio hot mic saying that basically the world's going to end, and they've been thought, well, not everyone, but that got leaked around the world, so people thought that was really going to happen. You fool. What's next on here? Oh, dude, we brought him up last episode.
In our 82 episode, we covered the DeLorean scandal.
So in 1984,
look at this son of a bitch.
He was acquitted of drug trafficking charges in Los Angeles. The founder of DeLorean Motor Company was arrested. We already know the story. The guy got entrapped, trying to sell cocaine to bail
a lot of cocaine
$4 worth of cocaine, but to bail out his company. And this face right here, this is the face of a man that said, "I just got off jail for dealing $24 million worth of cocaine."
And he left the courtroom, got into a DeLorean, and did a big rail of cocaine to celebrate it. That's that man's face right there.
With his a lawyer right next to him too. Are we going? John?
Let's go, John.
Happy trails, Johnny boy. And then here's a little one. There's a little baby. This little baby was born 1984. Is there any takers on who this little baby is? He is not an American baby. He's even well-known baby or a grown-up young man or man today. If this might give you a little hinty who, that's his mom. He's with his mom, Princess Di, and that is little Prince Harry.
Oh, look at him doing a shot in that picture.
So that was
it's party age.
That was the prince as a young little baby, his birth year. We've got oh, dude, I thought this was funny. The final episode of Happy Days was on in 1984. Dude, how the hell did Happy Days stay on in the 80s?
I
man?
know.
11 seasons. It was on for 11 seasons.
Look at all this shit here. Yeah, Henry Winkler had enough at that point. He was tired of that role.
I gotta go. I'm too old to be the Fonz.
And obviously somebody gets married. Yeah, I wasn't really up on my Happy Days characters, but it looks like it's a happy ending. Sure.
Yeah, whoever the hell made this decision, you made it like 10 years too late to pull it off.
Oh yeah.
And oh yes, this young little this looky-loo here. This young woman is Velma Barfield, and in Raleigh, North Carolina, Velma Barfield, what did she become famous for? She became famous for the first woman in the United States to be executed since 1962.
Whoa, grandma here got executed?
Yeah,
What'd she do?
She was a serial killer who was convicted of one murder, although she eventually confessed to 6 murders in total.
I mean, she's the wolf in sheep's clothing here. She's got the Jesus picture hanging up there. This is like classic grandma mode.
And her name's Velma. Like how many
Velma?
Like how many serial killers?
Intrigued to know what was her like deal? How'd she kill people?
Poisoning was poisoning. It was mainly the elderly trying to like get money. Basically, it wasn't just so much for like gratification of murder as much it was like well, she did get gratification, but it was also to like get money.
Grifting with the death.
Mm-hmm. And what else we got here? Thomas the Tank Engine with Ringo Starr.
Oh man. What a weird series.
Yeah, just weird. Like I can't remember the story behind. I think he had like a big part in getting the show made, and I think the producers were like, "Well, will you be the conductor?" And Ringo had nothing better going on, so he's like, "Yeah, sure, I guess I'll be the conductor." So
or he was paying off a debt or something. It might have been the real story. God, Ringo. Look at that earring he had rocking too. The big long earring. Very Ringo.
That was part of his signing bonus. He got another long earring. We got we're coming. This is in December 8th, almost the end of the year here. Neo-Nazi leader, and I've never heard of this guy either. Neo-Nazi and leader of the Order is the name of his which supremacist group, the Order. Robert J. Matthews is killed in a shootout with the FBI. The agents had been surrounding Matthews' house for over 24 hours before the shooting begins. Never heard of this guy, but his house exploded. That's his house.
Okay, I was gonna say that is quite a shootout because that house is fucking destroyed.
So I'm sure it's a matter of time until there is some sort of Netflix show or 5-part series or a couple seasons of The Order where we follow some guy become a neo-Nazi and then his house explodes. But I had never heard of this guy, and here's this exploded house that apparently the FBI thought he was bad enough they had to go get him.
I guess don't fuck with the FBI.
This guy, Bernard, I believe it's Goetz or Getz, Goetz. Bernard Goetz shoots and injures 4 muggers on the New York City subway. The incident sparks debate on the lengths people should go in self-defense.
Stand your ground.
So I believe, let me just kind of cue this up to see if we don't screw this up some more, as I already have.
Bernard gets what Bernard wants.
And we have, I believe, actually, strangely enough, we have video footage of, let's go here.
Fucking some people up.
Yeah, so we go here, and then we go here, and this is...
So, buddy, tell us what's so fucking funny.
I mean, I can't believe they had cell phones back there. Whoever was recording this.
I'll tell you what you had.
Uh-oh, let's get to the killing.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, Bernard. I think this might be a recreation. It's supposed to be a recreation. Bernard just wanted to... Oh, no, Bernard.
Oh, Bernard. Coming from clown college.
I think the violence happens here really quick. Uh-oh. Oh,
poor Bernard.
Yuppies. Kick Bernard when he's down.
There
we go.
Oh, there it is.
There we go. Bernard. And then Bernard.
Oh, Bernard.
There you go, Bernard. And so that was a nice little...
Standing his ground as he should, as one would.
Yeah, so that was some video footage of Bernard Getz shooting the subway shooting that happened in 1984. And that wraps up news. Let's just get this out of here. So that was
Newsy.
Trying to like, again, obviously some things that kind of fell through the cracks, wasn't affecting the whole world, but those was a little January to December news that was
slightly lighter than the heavier handed stuff at the in the year in review, but all in all, it's news. It's what went down in '84.
And our last segment for 1984, Tom, this is a new one we got here. It's called "This Is My First Time Seeing This."
Cool.
So, there was during the movies category, there was some. Let me get out of here. Oh my God! There was quite a few movies that I had not seen, and there was a couple that really piqued my interest. And is this the first one? So this first movie, let me go here. Let me tell me if you've seen this, Tom, because I know we're both seen several of them. Have you seen They're Playing with Fire?
No, but man, by the cover of this, I feel like this was possibly in a section I wasn't allowed to go into at the video store. This looks rather salacious, and I don't know, not an over R rating.
This is an R-rated movie. They're Playing with Fire, and let's just watch the.
I definitely are.
Let's watch the trailer here because and so I had like. When I first saw the trailer, I said, this can't be the trailer. So I like looked and I was like, how is this the trailer? Because the music choice is rather interesting for the trailer. So share this.
Kenny Loggins.
That would actually
incredible. Oh, there's another one he did in the 80s.
Right. Let's just get this out of here. We'll remove this. We'll get this.
Sybil Danning and Eric Brown. I don't even know who the hell those people are.
Sybil Danning was a former Playboy Playmate, but here we go.
All right. Makes sense.
Here's a little watch along. Yeah. This is the real trailer. What is this song? There's no dialogue. Nice little Playboy Playmate on her boat. Discount John Candy.
Okay. Oh, yeah. A teacher student relationship.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
He doesn't even know what he's doing. Come on, put your hands on that tush, bro.
Wow. Really going for it in the trailer here.
Definitely like a discount Farrah Fawcett. And this song is killing me though.
Rocking it.
And this guy's got a gun for no reason.
Playboy sensation Sybil Danning and Eric Brown, the star.
Playboy sensation.
Just when they
A lot of
it looks really weird. Their relationship is strange. Oh yes.
Now they're playing with fire.
Yeah, there's like this movie's all over the place. Yeah, so that is
selling all of the things it needs to sell in that one trailer. You don't even need to see the movie. You've seen it.
Yeah, so that's Playing with Fire.
Okay.
At the first time I saw that was this trailer. I was like, I've never seen this before. Next up,
also a Blu-ray as well, which is incredible. They did a Blu-ray transfer of that film.
Playboy sensation. It's Sybil Danning. This one, so Jamie Lee Curtis, C. Thomas Howell, and Patrick Swayze, hero of the show, Grandview, USA. Never heard of this.
No.
I think I know why I've never heard of this, dude. Watch this trailer, bro.
This is kind of all these people are kind of in their essence here. They're it seems to be their. Are you sharing your screen?
Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. I have just been.
I was imagining it. I'm like, this is awesome.
I am just done.
All these folks are all in the prime of. Oh, look how terrible this looks.
Oh yeah, here we go. Let's start it. My bad. We're almost done, folks.
Grandview, USA is a great place to grow up. It's got friendly people, wonderful neighbors, concerned parents.
Are you on drugs?
Responsible kids.
Not as bad as it looks, Dad.
It's a great little town. Unless you're a kid with great big dreams.
I gave you the money. Would you buy me a bottle of wine?
Oh, wow.
High school kid? Calm down. That's the reason you couldn't go out with me last night, isn't it?
Wow.
Dad, what's wrong with this town anyway?
Nothing. There's all the bull that says you'll never make it. I don't buy it.
Jamie Lee Curtis, C. Thomas Howell, Patrick Swayze. From the director of The Blue Lagoon and Grease.
And Grease.
Grandview, USA.
Wow.
It's
Yeah, dude.
Wow. There's so much going on in that trailer as well. I mean, it's very much like you could tell this person directed Grease. That was their one flex, and they were like, "We just have to have a musical number in this. There's no reason to, but we have to."
When he comes out of that, I don't know,
silo,
like, yeah, the chicken feed house, and he's dressed like a gayer Luke Skywalker. See Thomas Howell is still like, oh no, can we get another take of this? I think I can do it better. I mean, he was invested, but dude, my first time seeing this, Grandview USA.
Hard R rating as well. There we go.
There is one more here, Hard Bodies, which if you hadn't guessed the theme yet, it is a bunch of I guess sex-addled teenagers in the 80s. And let me just pull this up and remember to share the friggin' screen.
Putting that lotion on. Puts the lotion on.
So this is also the like horrible quality of this, but we don't have to watch all 2.5 minutes, but we'd be remiss if we don't watch a little bit of it. And then here we go.
Hard Bodies.
Hard Bodies.
Perfect little foxes down on the beach.
BBD.
It's bigger and better deal.
And Wuss.
Yeah, she said you got a lot more class than an immature boy like you.
Our lingo, bro.
Oh, man. That was.
It will answer important questions.
Where became a romance?
You want romance? Read a novel. You want me? I'm upstairs.
Expand your language skills.
My friend Rag here, he's multilingual. He's flipping you off in 48 languages.
Explore the wonders of nature.
Look at these hamstrings, these gluteus maximus. This is the body of the age.
Yeah.
To travel where no man has gone before.
That's great.
How to effectively plan your day.
First, we'll make love. Then we'll go for a jog. And then we can come back and make love again until we bounce off the walls.
Yeah, you have to watch it. I mean, you get the deal.
It's just again, this is that Porky's scenario. It's just all about like selling sex and goofy, wacky comedy, and
my first time seeing it. So we had to recap. We had They're Playing with Fire, which is about a young man who wants to sleep with his teacher. Then we have a young man who wants to sleep with his waitress. I think that's what Jamie Lee Curtis was, or his driving instructor. And we just have young men who want to sleep with everything in Hard Body. So that's what the 80s was about. It was getting
really
ridiculous.
was. We're definitely running a theme here, and I can see. Talk about seeing it first, maybe seeing it last. I don't know if I would search those out.
Now let's hear from one of our amazing and valued sponsors who make this whole show possible.
Amen to that. All right, well, let's go to our final sponsor break here on Anachronology. 1984. It's been a year. We'll come back, recap, and end off the show. We'll be right back.
We'll see you after these very short messages. So get your asses back to the chopper.
Listeners of Anachronology, you should check out, or should I say, get ready to dip, swirl, and save your way through a fondue extravaganza like never before. Step into our culinary wonderland at 88 Fondue Fingers Kablooey, where the cheese flows freely, the chocolate cascades temptingly, and the fun never ends. At 88 Fondue Fingers Kablooey, we're not just a restaurant, we're a fondue destination with a whopping 88 different fondue fountains to choose from. The possibilities are endless, and the flavors are divine. Dive into a bubbling pot of creamy Swiss cheese, or indulge in a decadent chocolate waterfall drizzling over fresh fruits and fluffy marshmallows. From savory to sweet, traditional to exotic, our fondue fountains cater to every taste and craving. Gather your friends, family, or that special someone for a fondue feast unlike any other. Celebrate birthdays, anniversaries, or simply the joy of good food and great company in our vibrant and welcoming atmosphere. So why settle for ordinary when you can indulge in the extraordinary? Come join us at 88 Fondue Fingers Kablooey and let the fondue frenzy begin. With 88 fountains of fun, flavor, and flair, there is always something new to discover and delight in. Stave your way to fondue paradise at 88 Fondue Fingers Kablooey, where you put the fun in fondue and you put your food in one of our 88 different fountains.
You are watching Anachronology.
88 different fondue fountains. I'm in.
88 finger fountain kablooey.
Sounds incredible.
Thank you guys for tuning in for watching and sitting through us another episode of Anachronology. We had a blast going to 1984. We barely touched the surface of all the movies and music, hopefully, and these all that uplifting news, but hopefully we got a little taste of something you remember, something you didn't know, something that you said, hey, I haven't seen that in forever, haven't listened to that in forever. And if you did like that, just going to throw it down your throat one more time. Just give us a subscribe for free. That costs you nothing. If you want to give us some shekels, you can check us out on Patreon and you can get all the goodies like a new category or say a bonus category and a bonus segment every week. Because you know what?
Really good.
After this episode of 1984, there is more that's in the can that we can't give you because you're not on Patreon, but it's okay. It's okay. It'll be there. It'll be there when you want. It'll be there when you get to it. Don't worry about it.
Absolutely. We're all about discussing on the prior years. We try to do little time capsule posts on our Discord channel that all of the Patreon members are on. And we're just trying to converse. What didn't we talk about? What did we miss? Like Clay said, we can't really hit all of it, but we can hit some of it. We can skim through, but it is incredibly deep. There is much to talk about in all of these years. We're sent to each year to do our archival duties, and we do that very well. And again, if you can't be a Patreon member, do us a huge favor, subscribe to the YouTube channel and help us grow our Anachronaut community. But I will say, I think I speak for you, Clay. We have a really good time doing this show. It's a ton of fun. And we look forward to coming back week after week, traveling to different points in the unknown timescape and rehashing things, learning things. I mean, just on this show alone, we learned movies we've never seen before that I'm going to obviously go and download all 3 of those and watch them this evening because they were so incredible.
And as far as what we do cover on the show, hey, if there's something that you think we should, category we should implement, a segment we should do, let us know in the comments down below so we can feed it into AI Producer and see what gets spit back out so we can then bring it to you in some new way, shape, or form here on Anachronology, where it's about damn time.
Thanks, everybody, for watching. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Later.